Alright, phase 2 of the project here. So as you can see, I left it with a little sticking out, and that leaves us with about 1/8 of an inch of head sticking out of the collet. And you've been thinking, well, geez, this should be flush, right? Well, it will be. If we remember, we're going to have about 1/8 of an inch of washer effect from the top hat. So I found a chunk of 12L14 that is about too big of a diameter to go in the minor diameter of the splines, which is good. That means we will turn it down to fit around here as a washer, but will not affect the outer splined area. As you can see, I had to straighten that piece up a little, give myself something to grab onto that was not so wobbly. So according to the old pinchers here, we all know to be 1.042, 1.044. So we will turn this all the way down to the part, the cutoff, the parting tool, down to that 1.042, which we are at probably 1.25, yeah. So let's go ahead and get that cut off, shaved off. Oh yeah, I never faced this off on camera anyway. This 12L14 free machining steel, just leaded steel. It's really easy to cut. You'll see it's kind of skippy there. That is because we are facing off a saw cut. That was not exactly the straightest thing ever. Now it looks like it's spinning straight, so we got it all, we got the bad spot faced off. Let's just run a couple passes on the feed here just because it's fun. That is a nice way to clean up some steel there. Just cut off all the bad stuff. What we'll do is we'll get it relatively close to our final cut anyway, and then we'll go ahead and do the round feature in the end for the bolt head. I'm watching the steel more than the camera, so if I'm shaky, I'm sorry. Just call it good there. Alright. Alright, so this is now down to the size where it'll fit around the splines, or I'm sorry, under the splines, so they'll still be able to slide into the OD of the PTO. But that means we need to now add a hole into this part for the bolt head to be able to recess all the way into. Easy. Alright, so now that our bolt will pass through, and it's time to cut the relief for the socket head. And the head of the bolt is 400 thou tall, so that's it. We'll just dive that in 400 and that should set flush and look really nice. Here's a great example of this carriage stop. So we needed to be 400 deep. We brought this up to the carriage at 0 and then just turned the dial 4 times. Well, not all at once. And then that gives us that 400 depth there. We just got to make it a little bit bigger next step up, and then the bolt head will fit in. We got it pretty close with the drill, so let's go ahead and finish it up with the boring bar. Manually, just so I can feel the end there. And so I got it right on this step without trying to cut out the bottom floor of it. There we go. So that is pretty good. Looks like I can clean up the groove a little bit, get it nice and flush in there. Like I said, I'm just going manually with the dial, so I can feel the bottom. There we go. So we drilled it to 400, and that was the exact height of our bolt head. And so now whenever we part it and cut it off, that will fit all the way in, and the rest of the bolt will go all the way through. So let's cut the washer feature. We'll plunge it, and then say it's about 1/8 of an inch. Drive the feeder back, bring that down to the inner diameter here, and then part it off and be done. Alright, so now that we got everything, this focus is terrible. Now that we got everything all set up, now we just turn this diameter down to fit inside of here, and then the washer there rides up over this part, and then that will be what contains it. Okay, so we needed to be at 740, and with all the rough cuts we are at 744, 745, so that's pretty good. Now we'll change cutter, do the final real light kind of a dust cut, and get rid of this goofy bugle situation. We could probably whack it off right there. Alright, so with the right tool, I'll get the flange cut here. Now just double check the depth measurement on the spline section, and I'm going to cut this off about a 1/2 millimeter longer. Sorry. That way the splined coupler can almost have a little bit of float in it, have a little bit end play. It's tapered on the one side, so I don't want to lock it down onto the other shaft. Or if you drive it down too far, you could actually split this. It's really hard, so if you're trying to press it into a taper, it'll split. So anyway, now I think it was 490, but I'm not going to trust my memory, so I'm going to measure it again and then do the parting cut wherever that was. Alright, I'm going to use my favorite parting tool. I don't know if it's the best parting tool in this situation, but the stuff isn't exactly hard, and the hole in the middle is pretty big, so it'll be easy to cut off anyway. Yeah, good thing I didn't go off memory. It's not 490, it was 425. So I don't know where I got 490 from, but anyway, we're gonna cut it off at like 450. I said about a 1/2 millimeter bigger. It's like 0.6. So anyway, that'll give us plenty of room. It's not super critical. You can be a little long. Let's chop this thing off, see what happens. Okay, part removed. Can't get it to focus. There we go. Pretty simple. Very effective. It'll fit just like that. Doesn't interfere with anything. Try to do this with one hand here. And like we said, got just that little bit of end play to keep it from locking up down here on this taper. Alright, and that is it.